Man, is it that time of year again already? Yep, mark your calendars, guys, because the National Holiday of Gamers, aka the Electronic Entertainment Expo, is right around the corner. This marks the beginning of several traditions, including but not limited to stocking your room with enough food to last a week, waking up at 6 in the morning of your own accord for once, fasting off YouTube so you have enough bandwidth for at least 3 days straight of non-stop streaming, and of course, the preliminary dance of the Nostradamus wannabes. There's nothing wrong with making crazy and fun prediction videos where you reach for the stars and slam face first into the moon, but this year I want to take a different approach to this subject and offer up some more down-to-earth expectations. Maybe it's my old age talking, but I think it's even easier to get excited for something if there's a genuine chance it could happen. Plus, it has the bonus side effect of making you less prone to disappointment, which will make the experience much more enjoyable for everybody in the long run. So sit back and get ready to unleash your inner Spock as we present Team Pizza's 8 realistic predictions for E3 2015.
Number 8.
Warcraft, Ratchet & Clank, Sly Cooper, Uncharted, Hitman, Minecraft. What do all these properties have in common? They all have a movie being made about them. There are a metric buttload of video game films being produced right now, meaning I don't think it should surprise anyone if at least one of them gets mentioned at this year's show, even in passing. If it's just an announcement that the film is coming first to this platform, or that the studios involved will be working on a totally different flick that we haven't even heard of yet, chances are the silver screen will be involved in more than just the Sony experience come June. The real question is, which game is getting movie eyes next? The Sims? Angry Birds? If their hack is to be believed, Sony Pictures, of all people, has been talking to Nintendo about making an animated Mario movie. Can't say I wouldn't be interested in seeing how that turned out. Like every year, there will be points of the conferences where you're just waiting for them to talk about games again. But at least this time around, the downtime will at least be somewhat relevant to our interests.
Number 7.
Sony has been pushing Project Morpheus for quite some time now, so much time in fact that we'd be pretty safe in expecting at least more details on the device itself this year, if not a full-on game announcement for it. The latter would be the smarter path, considering it would give general audiences a better idea of why the technology matters, but being ready to show and being optimized for showing are two completely different things. Games take time, and I imagine it hasn't been a lot of time since this thing was ready to be shown to developers, even Sony's in-house ones. The initial reveal will be a lot like the Wii U's unveiling a few years back, with most of the tech demos being just that, concept pieces meant to show what the platform can do. And somehow it'll still be available before the consumer version of the Oculus Rift. Wrap your head around that one.
Number 6.
Bethesda has announced that they'll be holding an E3 event of their own this year, and if you live in the Los Angeles area, you can even watch it live at the Dolby Theater. It's pretty much confirmed that Doom 4 will be on display there, but make no mistake, they wouldn't be holding an entire event just for one game. Just don't expect the other ones to absolutely blow you away. The fact is, Bethesda has never done anything like this before. This is a first fledgling step, and some mistakes are probably going to be made. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be at least one game that will be worth the price of admission alone, but if we're looking at how the event will turn out overall, the Bethesda conference will be okay. I'd actually put it between Ubisoft and Microsoft shows in the scale of who wins E3 this year. As for the positions of those other two in that ladder, well, take a wild guess.
Number 5.
If there is one game I would buy an entire console for that isn't made by Nintendo, it's No Man's Sky. And if the stars are lining up the way I think they are, I'm gonna have to own up to those words pretty soon. Look, it's time. By now, this game is far past the point where it would be ready to show off to the outside world. Sony is going to blow all of our minds yet again by showing not a teaser, but a full-on demo of the game in action, expanding on its concepts, showing us just how far the system goes, and proving that the endless universe they promised is not just an empty hope. We'll learn more about the mechanics, see the deeper aspects of the gameplay in action, and maybe even get some surprises due to the nature of the game itself. And I cannot wait another second for it. But alas, there are almost 2 million of them left until the show. I will try to be patient for you, my sweet.
Number 4.
Every year I hear Rareware get brought up again. News site after news site is constantly looking for any excuse they can get to ride the potential hype train that is a Banjo-Kazooie revival. And I will admit, it's really fun to dream sometimes, but this list is about realistic predictions, and therefore I have to draw a line on something I think has gone on far enough for long enough. Listen to me and listen very carefully. The only thing Rare has been doing these days is changing its name to Playtonic and announcing Yooka-Laylee. What's left of the quote official company is a bunch of abandoned ruins, stoically guarding some of the most legendary games in the industry like so many ancient idols. The next time we hear about Rareware in the news is gonna be about them closing their doors, because that's what happens when you sit on your ass for half a decade not accomplishing anything. Just stop it, guys. Stop getting people's hopes up for no reason. Rare ain't doing squat at this year's show, and you know it. I'd actually be more excited for an announcement of someone else handling their old IPs instead, a la Killer Instinct. And I still stand by that next-gen Battletoads idea from 2013. I mean, come on! You know how many people would pre-order that at GameStop just for the hell of it? It practically markets itself. Now I'm just bumming myself out. Moving on.
Number 3.
So, Nintendo announced a new platform not too long ago. I'm sure we all remember that. And I'm sure we're all very, very curious to find out more about some of these cryptic statements they threw around regarding the subject. But here's the thing. The 3DS launched in 2011. The Wii U launched in 2012. The new 3DS launched this year. Nintendo would be out of their minds to try and sell us on another new device right now, so the smart money is on the idea that we won't be hearing anything on the NX for at least another year. But that's what's interesting about Nintendo, or at least interesting in the Chinese definition of the word. You can never really predict what they're thinking. They have plans for the NX being something completely unlike anything they've done before, so for all we know, the time could very well be right to hear about what it is and why we should care. Only time will tell, but it's yet to be seen whether that time will be 24 days or 379.
Number 2.
Speaking of Nintendo, something I can say with more confidence is that they've wholeheartedly embraced the idea of DLC. It's almost a guarantee we're going to hear about more Amiibo at this year's show, but past that, I think the more traditional downloadable offerings are going to be more plentiful than ever. This means more Mario Kart 8 content, more expansions planned for titles we haven't even heard of yet, and you just know they're going to have another reveal for Smash Bros. Ready in time for the Direct. Personal hopes include an expanded battle mode for Mario Kart 8, and some news on how the character poll results have been going. This is also after the launch of Splatoon, so that might even get a bit of screen time as well, as they talk about some of the free events coming down the line. But no matter what, the Big N's offerings are going to be bigger than ever in 2015. And with the power of the internet on your side, the only limit is your skill as a developer. Well, that and the size of your hard drive.
It's number 1.
Discussions like this are usually focused on one company or another, but this year, an interesting phenomenon has been taking place in that everyone seems to have the exact same game plan. Nintendo has put a primary focus on games we haven't seen yet, and some stuff we're hotly anticipating more info on. Sony has gone on record that almost everyone in their studios are working on games for E3 right now. Even the US marketing head for Xbox, Aaron Greenberg, has stated that we should expect, quote, a lot of surprises, a lot of games, and if that you're an Xbox owner, you're going to leave really, really happy in your investment. And I think he's right, because have you noticed the trend here? Everyone is focusing on first-party material right now. This brings a lot of big names to mind, not the least of which being Star Fox, Halo, Uncharted, just fill in the blanks however you wish. Come to think of it, didn't Mr. Greenberg also say that Microsoft will be showing off a new IP this year? And it's been quite a while since we learned about the Guerrilla Games RPG. Coincidence? Probably, but you never know. No matter how thorough and meticulous you are with your predictions, somehow this event always finds at least one way to surprise you. Of that, you can always be certain. Let me tell you a little something about countdowns and how I make a lot of them. If you want to be a part of that, you can click that card in the corner to check out the playlist, or this annotation right here to check out last week's top 8 smile-worthy game songs. We also have a gameplay channel called Team Pizza Plays, original name, I know, where we're currently playing through Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance in honor of the Bloodstained Kickstarter. So, if you're even remotely curious about the rather confused subtitle of that game, be sure to check that out. If you like this video, please be sure to hit that big green thumb down below, and please consider subscribing so you can catch the new countdowns that I post every single weekend. Until then, I'm Whatthefnu. Later, everybody!